So today I thought it would be fun to deep dive into a couple of weird food habits that I've noticed as an Irish person American people have. And when I say weird, I don't mean bad. Weird is interesting. Weird is good. For anyone that's new around here, I am personally fascinated by the cultural differences between my own country, Ireland, and the country that I grew up watching on all the TV shows and in films and all that kind of thing. And when I finally got to visit there, America. Before I get into the video, do be sure to subscribe. Otherwise, the next time you go to eat something, it's just gonna taste blah. Not good. Okay, coming in at number 10. Americans deep fry everything. Name a thing, and Americans will try and deep fry it. We don't do that here so much. The only thing that I can think of that we deep fry is deep fried Mars bar, which I gotta say is pretty tasty, except last time when I did go back to try one, it didn't taste so good, but I was a couple of pints in, so yeah. But in America, you deep fry everything. Just name a thing. Americans have tried to deep fry it.
See, Marge, I told you they could deep fry my shirt.
You deep fry ice cream. You deep fry turkeys. You deep fry vegetables, which kind of makes the goodness of the vegetables counter good. That's not a word. I do get it. Things taste pretty good deep fried. There is no end to what an American will deep fry. They might even deep fry, ooh.
Silent breed is people!
That's a whole different thing though. The next food oddity that Americans do is put wine in a box. Who was sitting there one day and thought, this wine in a bottle is no good. It's too fragile. You know what we should do? We should put it in a box. On the flip side, yes, it's more transportable. And then on the other hand, it's in a freaking box. Some of you guys even have boxes with these pushy things on the side so that the wine comes out like juice. I really do need to know the story behind the wine in a box, because who thought of that? Who thought this is a great idea? I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm just saying we didn't think of it in Europe. I can't imagine somebody trying to impress another person on a date and producing wine in a box. It just seems a little too casual. I bet it's a thing that you do when you have like 3 children and we're not trying to impress each other anymore. It's wine in a box. It was $2 cheaper. The next strange thing that you guys are obsessed with, donuts. Now, I've spoken about donuts before on the channel. I've even tried them a couple of times. Irish people like donuts, like we like a croissant.
It's croissant.
And yes, that is the correct way to pronounce it, if a little pretentious. But Americans have donuts for breakfast and lunch, and sometimes dessert. We thank you very much for exporting your Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts to our country, but it does seem strange to us to have it for breakfast. Now, I guess this goes hand in hand with the fact that Americans like sugary things for breakfast, which is not a commonality around the rest of the world. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's probably not that great for your overall health. Not that health is something we worry about around here. But yeah, when did somebody just decide to pick up a donut, which is traditionally an after-dinner treat, and go, you know what, we're gonna have this for breakfast, the first meal of the day. Curious about that. Again, I like it, just unusual. The next thing I don't like, and you guys are freaking obsessed with it, and it's like it's the only dip in the world, it's ranch. I find ranch offensive. Ranch does not taste that good. And the reason I have a massive bias toward my dislike of ranch is because there are so many other better dips out there. Why do you guys love ranch so much? I've said it before, I resent being given ranch with my pizza. You could have garlic and herb, you could have sweet and sour, you could have barbecue. But you guys default to ranch in restaurants, and you have so much choice. You guys love choice. You love choice in every other area, except when it comes to dip. Y'all just want ranch, and it doesn't taste that great. It doesn't. Oh, they're gonna come for you in the comments. Oh, they're gonna come for you hard. I can handle it. No, I can't. The next thing that's unusual in American food is when you guys say spicy, you guys mean spicy. It's freaking spicy. I've noticed when American people come here, they're like, oh, it's not that spicy. And I'm like, it's so spicy. And I think this ties in with your love of extremes in America. You guys like spice, and you guys bring it up a notch, and then 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 up a notch. I can't go any higher. Spicy is spicy, and we've tried a few things on this channel that are spicy. Yeah. Oh, no.
Terrible idea.
Oh, it's stupid.
Who did?
This is so stupid.
I'm not doing that pepper dust.
Oh my god. The next weird food habit that you guys have in America, and this is more to do with how you guys are served, but I just thought it fit nicely into this list. You guys get the bill or the check before you've ever finished your food. Again, I've brought this up on the channel before, but I don't think I fully got my head around the why of it. Is it because your server is finishing up their shift? Am I expected to pay it then?
When I'm done eating, we'll talk.
In Ireland, our bill doesn't come until we ask for it. And the reason for that is because you might just order more stuff. So in America, when they bring me the check, am I allowed to order more stuff? I feel like it's a massive inconvenience if I do. If you could explain that one to me in comments, I would be most grateful. The next thing, I'm going to call you guys the food scientists of the world, because you love to experiment to a Frankenstein point. Let me just say one word. Turducken. You take one meat and you stuff it inside another meat. Who thought of that? There are genius moments like waffles and chicken. No idea. I had no idea those would go so fantastically well together. They really do. They're just wonderful. And I would never have put waffles with chicken in my whole life. What a great idea. Fries in a milkshake. Very bizarre, but it works. Ice cream in your soda. Yeah, it turned into a classic over here. But turducken? Really? You know what, I'm probably going to try it and like it now. Weird food combinations are just what America does. And you experiment like nowhere else in the world with food. And we're both proud of you for it and fearful. So fearful. The next strange thing that you guys have done with food, well, more it's a drink. It's coffee. You took coffee and you frickin' ran with it. It occurs to me I should have looked up where coffee originated. I'm going to guess somewhere like Italy. And over there, it's pretty refined. They have their lattes and their espressos. They eat them before a certain time of day. In America, you took coffee and you put a load of ice cream in it. And you called that a frappuccino. It's an ice cream. You infected us with your strange coffee lists by sending us Starbucks. I am ashamed that I know what most of the Starbucks orders are. Here is an example of an overcomplicated Starbucks order. A tall quad long shot grande in a venti cup, half calf, double cup, no sleeves, salted caramel mocha latte with 2 pumps of vanilla, substitute 2 pumps of white chocolate mocha for mocha, and substitute 2 pumps of hazelnut for toffee nut, half nut, whole milk, and half breve with no whipped cream, extra hot foam, extra caramel drizzle, extra salt, and a scoop of vanilla bean powder with light ice, well stirred. By the way, I have a free reward. Mother of divine Jesus, how many breaths did I have to take to issue that one? You guys, that's very complicated. I remember the first time I went into Starbucks and I ordered coffee and he looked at me like I had 2 heads. You made coffee complicated, America, but again, I don't hate you for it because the options are good. Okay, I know this one doesn't apply to everyone, but I have seen it in America a lot more than I've seen it in Europe. Actually, I've only really seen kids in Europe do it. Americans use their spoon for things that spoons are not for. Now, we've covered on this channel before a few times how cutlery etiquette is different in Europe than it is in the States. Ooh, look, I'm swapping sides. Ooh, shoveling. Ooh, shoveling. But in America, I have seen people use their spoon, not everyone, for rice, for cake. I've seen people eat beans with a spoon. And again, I totally see that this is the more practical way to eat some of those things. But to my European eyes, it just looks astonishing. I'm not offended. It's just very different. Do you know what? I actually think we should just get rid of knives and forks altogether, and chopsticks go away. Maybe we should just have all spoons all the time. Spoons with sharp edges for cutting. Sporkives. Makes a lot of sense. Let me know in the comments if I'm right. And finally, the number one bizarre, I can't get on board with it. It's just too strange thing that Americans do with food. And I discovered this one recently on this channel from you guys in comments. You guys don't always put butter in sandwiches. What? How is that possible? Your sandwich is not lubricated. I saw a lot of people arguing that you'd put something else in the sandwich, like mayonnaise, but no. The mayonnaise is in addition to the butter. Always put butter in your sandwich. Always. It actually gives me a mild panic that you don't put butter in all your sandwiches. In Ireland, sometimes you might not put butter in a sandwich. It would be an absolute frickin' rarity. I can't think of an example, but I'm told it has been known to happen. But in America, it seems you guys are very accepting of the fact that you might not put butter in your sandwich. And America, what do you like? You must have butter in your sandwich. Otherwise, it's like just not having bread on your sandwich. Then it's not really a sandwich, is it? I'm talking a shocking amount of butter. Like when you go and you get a sandwich made up, they put a load of butter, like half a butter on your sandwich. Half a butter loaf. What's it called? Tub. It's just not a sandwich without butter. And that's what I think, and I'm sticking to it. Let me know below in comments what strange concoctions you think that we do with our food in Europe. Today's shout out goes to a couple of patrons. Chewy has just disappeared and he's going to do them for me.
Hi guys, Chewy here. I'm actually in my friend Paul's house now. My buddy Kim Sparks would like to shout out all the people of Leitrim, County Leitrim in Ireland who've recorded the lowest number of COVID-19 cases in Ireland to date. She says a big well done and thank you so much for all your support, Kim. Also, another special shout out for Brian Linton and Samira Schmidt. I hope I said that right. They're some of our MVPs on Patreon. Thank you to Brian and Samira.
Feel free to engage with one another in the comments in a respectful way. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye. Okay, coming in at number 10. But in America, you deep fry everything. You deep fry ice cream. Next weird thing. The next weird food habit you have in America, and I don't know if this one is... The next, I am ashamed that I know. I remember the next thing